Hello everybody and welcome to Chaotic Neutral and the continuation of our D&D 5th edition campaign, The Benefactor. I'm here with Felicia, Corinne, Nick and Kate. Apologies to start off with. We started off not knowing whether we were going to be doing Thursday or Friday due to some commitments, and it did mean that we can't have Rodrigo today because he's only available on Fridays now. But we will be going back onto Fridays and continuing thereafter with all our players. So, previously on the Benefactor, Glory, Eclipse, Farewell and Cora ended up doing a little tomb raiding as they tried to find a canopic jar containing an artifact, specifically a set of organs that is related to, or maybe belonging to, a historical figure, a tabaxi, a lion-headed tabaxi called Joradan the Great. And Eclipse is kind of obsessed with finding as many artifacts as she can, but very specifically a thing called the Heart of Joradan. After some research that's gone throughout the campaign, she was pointed to several sites, and on their way to a place called Vaughnford, where they met the charismatic but not exactly approved of Merrick Briarstone, they decided to take a quick detour and look for an underground temple, long covered by moss and fern in the fenlands that they're currently in. And they started to explore. They found it. They spoke to a turtle who seems to dwell nearby, some sort of fenfolk is what they were called. And they started making their way into a strange cairn-like earthwork. Once they were in there, they were attacked by strange plants that vomited leeches all over them, causing them a little bit of inconvenience. After that, they got to the structure proper and found a deathlock talking to some form of geist. The geist, they presumed, was some form of messenger from the Master. And they were talking about a number of things, one of them being that the party was close, and that the tabaxi of the party was interested in the same thing that the Master was. They went in, killed the deathlock outright. The Geist was first of all bound by Aiden, who had caught up with them, and then banished and sent through the gate into death. At the point where they killed the deathlock, they heard a ruckus going on further on within the temple, as if wild animals were breaking up the shop. It didn't take them long to find out that a form of ghast or ghoul was tearing up one of the nearby storerooms. They currently are taking on that ghast that has not been defeated yet. Eclipse has managed to get a couple of hits in. And now they are going to be progressing further to hopefully get to the end. We're going to be switching over to the encounter screen soon, just after I say hello to the players. Please bear in mind that the shadowy parts of the encounter screen the players cannot see, only the viewers. Thank you. Hello everybody!
Hello, hello!
Hello!
So, hopefully you listened to my intro, and that's reminded you of one or two things. Let's bring up grid view.
Nope.
It's much better.
Sorry, can you just do all that again, please? I wasn't paying attention.
Tough.
Well, you're dead.
Bye
So
bye!
we'll inform you that Far will have died today.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Now,
Beautiful green child!
Bad fate.
last week you guys were on the ball. You were doing Black Ops stuff, so no pressure, but keep going. And you managed to sneak in, and Farewell tried a banishing, which didn't work, but then you had a whole person
One
from
day.
Cora,
One
which got
day.
the deathlock, and Aiden did something on the
Cursed
Geist.
blood. Cursed Eyeless, I think.
Yeah, was it Curse of the Isles? Either way, he bound them, and then he managed to kill, not banish. Sorry, it wasn't banishment. He managed to kill the Geist, sending it beyond the mortal gate, using his undead hunter, blood hunter powers.
And
Now,
then
you-
I murdered a guy.
Yeah, you guys are currently, if I switch over to our encounter view, you guys are currently here and prone on the floor in front of our death kitty is a Geist. And he is... There we go. He is feral. Whereas previously you have a feeling, because they went feral once the Deathlock had died, that maybe they were under the Deathlock's control and were probably a little more obedient. Let me just check the initiative here. Thanks to Campaigner.
Aiden's turn, if I remember correctly.
It is Aiden's
I think
turn.
I was pretty high. I think I was like the top.
I have his character sheet up, so if you want me to puppet him, I'm quite happy to do that, if you're comfortable with that, Simon.
Well, yeah, I was going to suggest there's one of two things I could have done. Either I was going to produce something that only Aiden can deal with and have him stay in that room and kind of bind it. But if you've got his character sheet, I would say, go for it. Obviously, because you're piloting Aiden, he has a certain amount of plot armor. So
He does, yeah.
But if he goes to 0 hit points, I'll deal with it a specific way. Okay? But all the same, just act for normal now. So, Aiden, what is he going to do? Nick?
He will probably go,
Stab the Geist.
well, no, because he doesn't know the Geist is there. Is he aware that they've got into combat? Because both me and Aiden aren't in the same room as you.
The Geist
and are
is
back with the death.
Sorry, Gast. The Gast is
depends
not
how
being
loud.
quiet in any way, shape, or form. And once Eclipse started fighting it, it started screaming blue murder. So I'm going to say Aiden can indeed act as if he has full knowledge.
In that case, hold on. I'm just going to check, and he's used one of his blood maledicts.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just ticking that off his character sheet.
Yeah.
Blood Curse of the Binding is the one he used.
Yeah, Blood Curse of Binding, and he's got radiant damage coming out of his weapon at the moment.
Yeah, because I think he's got the his blood right.
Right to the Crimson Dawn.
Is there enough room there, Simon, that he can get alongside Eclipse and to do a melee attack, or is there just not room because she stood in the doorway?
No, it's fine. Yeah, she's obviously taking up a 5-foot square, but he can kind of diagonal his way in, so you can kind of have him come in about here.
Fantastic. So what he's going to do is because he's got his radiance up on his weapon, so he's going to take a melee attack against the guy in front of him. Ooh, that's not bad. That's 14 to hit.
Let's see, and yeah, it definitely hits. So
is it an additional? Is there any additional damage for the radiance?
Yeah, so I should say what the thing does.
I think it's a D6 radiant, but I'm willing to be corrected.
Yes, an extra D6. Cool. So 1D8 and a 1D6.
Also remember he's got 2 attacks.
And plus 6, 16 damage with his hit. I think he can only attack once.
No, twice.
Twice. Okay, cool.
Well, he doesn't need to attack the second time because he's dead.
Oh, he's killed it.
Well then.
I murdered Kitty a lot, and then yeah.
So just come in and just do a typical sort of nonchalant stab, and then sort of just shrug and start rooting around the room.
Okay. I have said that because of all the noise that the other ghasts are making, and you can hear there are more throughout, There's no way that they know that you're there at the moment. So you're still in combat. So we'll go to the next person in the initiative to find out what they're doing. So the next person on the initiative is Glory. Where are you going?
Well, good question. The other sounds are then coming from below us or next, like across the hall from where Eclipse is?
Okay, so there are 2 doors here.
Yeah.
So you've got a door here. And you've got a door here. And you can hear, coming from both of those doors, there's sounds of a ruckus going on.
Right. Okay, so we have enemies in all directions. So we haven't gone. That's always nice. Let's see here on my spells. I'm just gonna check. That's an action. Sad.
Do it anyway. Fuck it. Fuck the rules.
No, I was thinking of using my target to slam open the door, but that might cause a little bit too much ruckus, even with the ones they're doing. So I'll go down here next to Cora, and I'm gonna see about opening that door and seeing what's inside.
Sure. Okay, so you go down and open a door, and what you see in front of you, if I reveal it on the map for the players now, right ahead of you there seems to be a bunch of steps that go down about 5 foot, and in front of you seems to be some what was once, I guess, a bunk room, and now everything is in tatters. So you can see the edges of some crates, and you can see what used to be pallets, so not quite bedrolls, but straw pallets where some workers, I guess you'd call them, or inhabitants here, would be using for sleep. You can see that next to each of the pallets is a small depiction of a child holding up a sun.
Right. Okay. I will reach up and flip my earrings, so activating my prism.
Yep, sure.
And making my reflection start behind me, so that when I walk down, the reflection is approximately where Cora is, I think it is. Is it 10 or 15?
It's 10, so if you stand where you currently are, your reflection will be here, which is fine. It's not seen. So, if you're where you've now moved, so where you are at the moment, you can project your vision, so your image, back into the stairwell.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Because then I'm invisible, practically. And I should be able to see the rest of the room.
You absolutely can. So, in the rest of the room, it's more of the same dilapidated bunks and pallets. But from what you can see in here, currently trashing a bunch of baskets that seem to have rotting or rotten or long rotted organic matter in there is another one of these creatures. It hasn't noticed you because you've projected your image 10 foot away, and it's making a hell of a noise as it's just ripping into various possessions, smashing pots, ripping up baskets, pushing around barrels and trying to smash them with its bare fists.
Well, I will, since my voice is also projected, I will just like whisper so that Cora can hear, because she's diagonally from me, and say, "We got another one of those down here."
Okay.
And I won't attack. I'll hold my action if that's possible.
Sure. What is the trigger and what are you holding?
if that thing starts attacking me or one of my friends, I will throw a firebolt at it
Sure.
or a acid splash. Acid splash.
Sounds good to me.
It's gonna become goo.
In that
But
case,
by the way, Nick, your playlist is very weird. It has a crab rave on it.
Crab Rave is great, okay? That is
What
one of
is
the best
weird?
songs.
What is weird about Crab Rave, man? You got
Yeah.
it down with the Crab Rave.
Me and my brother were in the store the other day and we found a fucking fridge with internet on it, so we put on the Crab Rave and then left. Just to
Okay.
confuse everyone else.
Okay, well,
you can
let's
introduce
keep
me to
going with the
whatever
game.
this is later. So, Cora, you get you watch as let's see, what would it be? Yeah, you'd watch as Glory starts down the stairs, and as she does so, there's a shimmer, and suddenly she's back on the top of the stairs. She carries on walking down the stairs a second time, and then as she's on the stairs, she whispers up to you, "There's another one in here."
So she's standing at the top of the stairs next to me, and she walked down the stairs. Is that right?
You believe that she's where the green X is at the moment.
Okay. I will walk up and through her and just be like, do I feel her?
Well, normally you can walk through other people's spaces anyway because you're so
Yeah, but
small.
I'm trying to touch her. I'm like, I think she's an illusion. I'm just gonna check.
Yeah, sure. As you go past, your hands go straight through.
I'm like, neat trick. And I keep edging down the stairs quietly
Sure.
to...
You said quietly.
see-
Give me a stealth check.
That one.
No, if it was nat 1, I'd be re-rolling it. It's a 2. So...
Oh dear.
What is it with you and rolling twos? It's always a 2 that you roll.
It's
when
my
you-
nat 1.
Okay.
It's my new nat 1. But I have a stealth of 5, but...
Yeah, unfortunately,
5, 6,
even
7.
distracted though he is,
I'm distracted by the invisible thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, oh, somewhere down here, and I keep going too far, I guess.
Sure.
'Cause I actually was looking at the map and the thing going, oh, she means that skull room, and there's one right behind me, so I was oblivious. Cora probably would be too.
yeah, you guys don't know that the skull room is there. It's
No,
I'm
sorry,
assuming you
I was... I know, I can see the stream, which I thought she could see. I thought she was looking through
No
it,
problem.
but there's no
No.
door.
to see what your character can
La
see.
la
Look
la
at
la la
roll
la
20.
la.
But yeah,
I am.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, you get down here, and as you do so, you're kind of feeling around for where Glory is, and you just kick a tiny piece of shrapnel, and it goes ding 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 ding, and the gas turns around, and this horrible distended jaws and teeth. It makes a kind of a vicious rage-like grin at you, and it's going to start towards you, but you still have initiative on it. What you didn't
Yeah.
get, unfortunately, was advantage.
It's a sneak
That's what you would have got.
advantage, yeah.
Was advantage.
Yeah. Oopsie. So I will. I don't have any spells, so
Elders.
I had. Well, you say that, but actually now I've got this ring. It's almost more fun to use the ring. So I will use the ring as it works so well on mushrooms. I will use my burning brand and I will throw a firebolt at it
Go for it.
and see how that works, which is 2d10.
So roll to hit first.
Well, bollocks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, hold on. Can I save what I just rolled? Let's see
Why
if I
not?
hit.
Why not?
Ooh. Right. What do I add to that? I add 8. So 8 plus 8 is 16.
You hit. What have you got on the dice?
I rolled a 6 and a 6.
Nice. So 12
So 12.
points of fire damage slamming into the ghast. You watch as the creature's flesh starts to bubble and melt with that much power. As you hit it, though, there's this horrible, horrible smell, and burning it doesn't seem to make it any better.
Oh,
This
Like-
rotting filth.
works so well on mushrooms. Damn.
Your Fey patron's like, I gave you Eldritch Blast for a reason, you know. It's force damage, it's a lot less smelly.
Farewell. What are you doing? You're all the way back up here, dude.
Yeah, life is blissful ignorance. So, as far as Farewell can tell, everyone looks fine. He doesn't have dark vision, so he can't see that far. So, he's actually going to investigate the Deathlock. He's curious as to what the Look, come on, it's my turn. It's my turn.
I was going to say,
he's going. No, he's going to investigate the Deathlock.
Sure.
And wants to know what the Deathlock has on him.
Okay. Even though you can hear that there's a bit of a ruckus and stuff like that, you're choosing to believe that the ruckus is still far off.
We can handle it.
Yeah.
I watched Glory walk off, and I've just gone, well, they're dead.
Yeah, no one's called for help yet.
No one started screaming yet, and Glory's walked off happily. Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, it's like, the glass cannon has gone in there. You know, this is a quick death. Yeah, absolutely. Do me an investigation check.
Cool. It's worth it. What's my investigation score? It's +6. So that's 20. Natural 18, motherfuckers.
Absolutely. So the first thing you find is the most obvious, and that's a wand at the Deathlock's hip. This particular wand, as you pick it up, has some sigils along the length of it. And with that high in investigation, I'm just going to say that you recognise, with your background, of course, you recognise some of the sigils. You're pretty sure that this wand is a cantrip wand. It bestows a cantrip on the bearer, even if they didn't know it. So it doesn't have charges because it's a cantrip. And it's a some sort of necromantic cantrip. You're not sure which. There's a flask of a muddy brown liquid as well.
Ew.
No, bad.
Bad. That's
And-
just asking for diseases.
There's also a scroll. And what languages do you speak?
Oh, good question. I speak Abyssal, Common, Dwarvish, and Primordial.
Okay. You don't speak the language that's on this. But yeah,
Glory!
it's it tells you something that it's kind of like Abyssal.
Ooh.
So it's infernal.
Yeah,
It's an infernal.
it's demony. Okay, I will pop those in my pockets. Anything else I find on him?
No, not really. Deathlocks tend to come with their own magic. He seems to just have a few odds and sods that he's put on there. There's a trinket, which is a small glass bauble on a what seems to be a gold chain. The gold is quite scratched up. Probably be worth more if it was melted down and recast. And you find 10 gold pieces.
I'll take the gold pieces because I know Cora will be upset with me if I leave.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh yeah, blame me for your looting. Okay.
I like to point out that in all of the combat that we've had, you've looted everything that hasn't got a pulse.
Yep.
Well, it hasn't got a pulse. Doesn't need it anymore.
And
The answer's in the question, dude. I mean, really.
yeah, and Farewell will move to about here, just because he's like, sort of goes, everything okay? Alright? And that's my turn.
Yeah, because all of this is happening roughly the same time. As you walk down and say, "Is everything okay?" There's a whoosh and a slight lick of flame coming up the stairs from the door in front of you.
Oh, maybe not then.
Okay, that's fair. Well, Eclipse, your ghast is done, but there's sounds of fighting in the other room.
I'm slightly hurt, but I should be able to. Yeah.
Chug a health potion.
I would have healed you, but I've realised that unfortunately I was saving my bonus action for Healing Word. Turns out I didn't pack Healing Word, so I'm really sorry.
Did you not prep?
What's that word again? What is the word?
Yeah. I can imagine that.
What are preparing spells?
He's just sat there going through his little book, going healing words, healing words, healing words. Because is that under H or under W?
Thank you for contacting the Raven Queen
can I do
customer
a
service.
spell check,
For a
Simon?
top-up, please press 1. What was that?
Can I do a stealth check?
Yes.
It's a bonus action.
It's going to be harder, but yes, go for it.
It's full stealth, kitty. Come on.
Because now the...
14! What is passive stealth?
it's not as passive stealth. He is actually looking in...
It's passive... Oh, I was going to say passive perception. But yes.
Yeah.
14!
At 14, unfortunately, he does see you. He is looking in your direction.
Wait, let me double check if it's plus 10 or plus 11. I rolled a 4.
Doesn't matter.
It might do.
Pharaoh's
it's
passive
plus 10.
perception is like 26.
Yes, but I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, she's not trying to pick my pocket.
Yeah.
Are you trying to pick Aiden's pocket?
No.
No,
Oh, might be
she's
actually trying to.
Oh,
trying
you're
to
done
sneak
with
past
us
the
now.
guards.
Attack on the fucking ghast!
No. What she's trying to do is pickpocket his wineskin off him
Mm.
when he's not here to defend himself.
Maybe if he doesn't drink, he'll notice her.
He'll love me if he stops drinking.
Navi.
Never.
Okay. I'll just do a normal attack then and cry because I don't have a sneak attack.
You do.
Poor
Storm,
Eclipse.
please. 17 plus 8,
Yep, you hit.
25. This is my damage. So that's 6 total.
Yep. So you lash out with your lash knife, and it
Can you
ca-
please do a what is it? Can he do a dex save, please?
dex save. He gets a dirty 20.
Oh, bastard.
I think he saves.
I think it saves.
Yeah. Sorry. Is that everything, Eclipse?
Yes, because my bonus action was trying to hide and I failed. So.
Sure. Okay. By the way, before I go any further, this wonderful map, I've added a few odds and sods onto it, but the map that's underneath is done by Neutral Party, and you'll find them on Patreon. It is the day of pay for me today, so I've added Neutral Party to my Patreon, along with Feline Trickster, who has done most of the art in my living room now, I've come to realise. So
Yeah, I really need to get her to commission something for me. I need more farewell art in my life.
yeah, I've got
That
my
is true.
my kit bus wall
He's
up here,
on the
but
list.
the wall
I
that's behind
promise.
the camera
Oh,
is...
hey. Felicia, you have enough on your plate at the moment to be worrying about something like that. So don't.
Yeah, I know.
panic.
The new patch released, and I've been running around so much. And I have
I'm
school.
like,
We were
fuck
talking
that.
about
I'm not
studying,
even-
yeah.
Oh boy.
Is it Aiden's turn now?
No, it is actually the Ghast's turn.
Ah,
So
damn it!
I'm going to do a quick odds evens roll because it saw both of them. Okay. And so it's going to charge up to little Cora.
I think it triggers Felicia's held action then.
It does indeed. So, Felicia, you watch as the ghast tears towards your friend. That was your held trigger. So I believe you're smashing it in the face with a cantrip of some description.
Yeah, acid. Acid splash. Roll to hit. That's a 19.
It hits.
Goody goody. Then he needs to do a dex saving throw.
Hang on, you're rolling to hit and he does a saving throw?
Well, I don't know. It says
it's
the
probably
target
just
must
a dex
succeed on a dex saving throw or take acid damage.
Yeah, so he's probably just doing...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Be
so
just
he's
the
just
same.
doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I'm doing a
just
dex
used
saving
to
throw.
having to roll.
He
I'm
gets
just-
a natural 2, so you
Yeah,
have
he's getting
2d6
splashed.
acid on.
I have 2d6 plus 4.
Ah, yes, you do.
Ooh, yes.
And that's a cantrip.
Yes, you throw the equivalent of a maul made of acid.
Oh, that's horrible. That's completely horrible. See, it isn't a dumb and bass playlist fun for combat.
14 damage.
14 points of damage. So, even though this ghast wasn't that heavily damaged when it comes along, suddenly, Cora, you watch as Glory disappears from the stairs and appears right next to you, and with a flick of her hand, acid just appears in the air and dashes across the ghast. And your acid is like a mostly green with a touch of yellow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got that wrong before. I keep describing it as a yellow acrid cloud, but it's not. It's a greenish acid that you throw. So that dashes across it and pretty much flawlessly covers it. And as it's attacking you, Cora, the stench is replaced by the acrid smell of acid. You're still going to have to roll for something in a sec, but it's going to try to attack you first. So first of all, it's going to attack you with its claws. So, does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, take 7 points of slashing damage, and I would like you to do a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Ooh. My good dice is not being so good to me, really. Constitution saving throw is the hair. Oh. 10.
You feel a stinging sensation, but a stinging sensation that suddenly goes numb as the claws rake across your body. Suddenly you can't feel the wound, which you would think is a small mercy up until the point where you go from not being able to feel the wound, then not being able to feel the muscle attached to the wound, to not being able to feel your body, to not being able to move your body as you become paralyzed, and then you shake it off because the DC was 10 and you just about met it.
That's mean.
I was just like looking for the D&D Beyond like conditions. Oh, they're there, right? Okay, get ready.
It's okay. I actually to bring Lesser Restoration with me this time, so it's all good. I remember that one.
Unfortunately, I need both you and Glory to make a Constitution saving throw again, as the stench of the ghast fills your nostrils.
Is it one of them immune because they overcame something last session?
That's Eclipse.
I think that's Eclipse, yeah. I got a 19 this time.
Yep,
30,
no problem.
20.
Yep, no problem. Both of you are now immune to the smell of a ghast.
Ooh. Now, isn't that a unique thing to have under?
Yeah. I'll put that on the CV.
Hi, my name is Cora. I am a halfling warlock. An interesting fact about me is that I'm immune to smells of ghasts.
So next up is Aiden. for you, Nick.
Cool. Iden will come out of the room and he will stand at the top of the stairs, or at least at an angle that he can see whatever attacked Cora, and he will, very on brand, cast Gun.
Yeah, okay, so he pulls out the Witchlock pistol, the Bloodwind Blood Axe special, and points it at the Ghast. Roll for attack.
Natural 20!
Nice. A little wasted because he only had 4 hit points left, but let's go with it anyway.
Hey, you know. If
we're gonna cast Gun, we might as well do it justice.
Yeah. So he loses a hit point, Iden does, and then because he hit, he regains that hit point straight away. And I think just with his dex modifier alone, this thing's dead.
Yes, but he takes 19 points of piercing damage.
Sure. The body is consumed with this dark blood red fire, and the Ghast is no more, and it collapses dead at the feet of Cora. And this room is now clear and empty.
Nice.
So do we still hear things? Or are we still caught in that sort of
the place is still being torn up.
combat?
Yeah.
I think we still hear something. You're standing right by a door.
Yeah,
Farewell.
next
I think
the door with sound coming from it.
Yeah.
So that one is the sound now coming from. We've eliminated the other sources.
However, the next person is actually Glory.
Oh, how fun. I will slip by Cora, and let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Yeah, that should do. And I will do my same thing again, actually. I'm gonna flip my crystal to make myself appear on the other side of Farewell. And then I will open the door.
Sure. You open the door and you can see a... let me just make it go a little bit over this way so that everybody can see it. You can see a corridor in front of you. The corridor has a door at the end and a door to the left and the right. And the door to the left, which is up, is it has a large amount of noise coming from it. Something's tearing something up in there. The door to the front and to the right or down is quiet. Is absolutely completely quiet.
Right. Well, I went 30 feet, so I've done my movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot more I can do.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just gonna...
Yeah. No, wait. It says 20, but that... Oh, it counts it diagonal. Can I move 10 more then? Because then I could go here.
If you want to. It's your call.
Yeah, if you wanted
Yeah.
to... If you
It's your
wanted
turn.
to...
You do your thing.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll open the door up from me.
Okay.
So the left one.
So you are actually here, according to anybody who's watching. So you're just in the corridor. You throw open the door, and as you do so, this seems to be some sort of dining quarters. You can see a small roughshod galley at the back, and a to the left you can see, although they haven't noticed you quite yet, although I'll get you to do a no, I'm not going to get you to do a stealth check because you're using a prism. So to the left you can see a Ghast is tearing apart again some more jars and things like that had kind of meat in, and up to the top right there's a second Ghast that's in the galley, and he's tearing apart things as well.
Right. I will do the same thing as last time. Whisper backwards, so either Aiden or Farewell hears it, and just like 2 more this way.
Sure.
And
I think that by this
will...
stage, Aiden's probably too busy hyperventilating from like the hunt to be like very talkative.
Yeah,
He's very focused right now. Very dour. So the next up is Cora. What are you doing?
Wait, I was gonna say I'm holding my action.
Of course, you still have your action, don't you? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because opening the door is kind of like a mini thing anyway. So yeah.
Yeah,
I would...
well, since there's 2 of them, I am going to hold... Ooh, I can only hold a... What do I have? I have that and that and that. Now I'll just hold a chromatic orb. That's pretty on brand.
Yeah, which level?
No, 1. So normal 1.
Right. Okay, so Cora, what are you doing?
Well,
First.
I saw her head up that way,
Absolutely.
and this room is now a dead end. So I'm on the hunt as well. So 5, 10, 15. Hold on. You can go diagonal, right? So I can go
Yes, you can. Yeah.
5, 10, 15.
There's a tool
25.
for counting the steps in Roll20. It's 20 to get to where I am from where you stand, according to it,
Oh,
which is weird.
Yeah.
that is weird because
it's
I would say that's
actually
25.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's actually 30 foot to get to where.
Yeah.
To where she actually is.
Yeah. So you can get to where my image is.
Yeah.
20. Is it? Okay. I would.
Yeah.
Right.
10.
Okay. Whatever. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Do I have to go up?
Actually, you could
next
go
Farewell
one
to get through
further.
the door. Then that's my point. Yeah, 25. I think it is to get to be on the same spot, which I can't be anyway as Glory, which is all my movement anyway.
Of course you can. You're like 3 foot nothing. You can stand between her knees. You can occupy.
I
the
suppose
same
so.
space.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You
well,
can actually get to. Hang on, let me just.
I
ping
think
it
I can
for
get
you.
there.
You can get here where my ping is. So you can be just inside the door here. Oh, hang on. I need to set it. Thing to
Really?
ping.
I don't think I can
You can
because
get
I've
to
got a
here.
25.
Oh, 25. No, you can't. You're right.
Yeah, I'm
You can't.
25, so I can only get to basically the same spot as Glory and peek in.
Yes, quite right, because you haven't got 30.
Yeah, because
that's
you have
right.
5 less than me.
Yeah.
So just a quick question: we're not, because we can move through each other, right? So we're not blocking the door for other people at this point because of that.
You
I
can
would
pass.
Where are
say
we?
if there's 2 of us on one space, maybe
Yeah,
we're
that's my
blocking
worry.
it.
You can pass through each other because if you actually mark out a 5 foot by 5 foot square on the floor,
Yeah, it's quite big, yeah. Yeah.
So what
you
you
can
can't
get 5
do
people in that
is
square. But...
you can't fight in the same square. So you can occupy the same square, but you can't fight in the same square. And the only exception that I'll give to this is because you're Cora and you're tiny. So anybody else can move past you into that room, but they can't occupy the same space as you both.
Space says it, yes, but they've got more movement, so it should be all right.
Yeah.
So I will look in and then see those 2.
You can see
almost
one.
Can't see the other one.
And
Yeah, I
the other
can't
one is
see-
around the corner, so it's
Yeah, so I can hear it.
yeah, you can hear it.
Anyway, I will hear almost the immortal words of farewell and use Eldritch Blast on the one. That's right here.
Nice.
Okay, 2 bolts, remember, so roll to hit twice.
Oh yes.
Eldritch Blast.
Blast. First one is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Yes, it's the spell attack. And then the second one. Yeah, second one is a natural 16 with an 8. So does that? That's maths.
Yeah.
They just call her
Can you do me a
Dead
favor?
Eye Cora.
Can you do me a
Okay.
favor and roll 2 more d20s, please?
2 more.
Yeah.
Yes.
And tell me the results.
Oh shit. That one was a 2.
Okay.
And and that was a natural 1, so give me a moment.
Uh,
Oh, that was a 5. Yay!
Okay, we're good,
A 2
we're
and
good.
a 5.
So yeah, roll the damage then instead.
And so it's 2 Eldritch Blast, so it's
2
just
Eldritch Blast,
it's a
so
D10 for both.
2 d10s,
'cause
yeah.
So, yeah, because That's 11 points of
11
damage.
points of damage?
Plus force
So
damage.
good, respectable amount of damage for a cantrip. So the one that's in the main room, you notice is quite distracted, which is why I got you to roll the extra dice, because I wanted to know if you nat 20'd on each of them, or on any of them. And so you just send these 2 bolts of telekinetic force into the room. It smashes into the side of the ghast, dealing quite a bit of damage, but he does know that you're there now. You do you are occupying the same space as Glory, but not the same space as her image. So when he looks in your direction, he sees only you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're basically standing under Glory's legs. You can feel them, but she's not there.
And I'm just like, hi!
You shaved this morning. Right, anyway. So, next up is Farewell.
I think me and Eclipse are on the same initiative, so Eclipse, if you want to go before me, you're welcome.
Yes, you're both on 17, so Eclipse can go first if you wish.
Yeah.
I'll stealth up.
Stealth.
Oh, that's a lot better than the last one. 27.
Oh,
Sure.
fucking hell.
What's your distance?
My
Oh yeah, you're a tabaxi.
Yes.
Don't you
It's
have
going to be something
extra?
stupid like 45 feet or something daft like that.
I think you can do a
it's
triple
30,
dash,
but yeah, so it's 30. But what I can do is I got an ability that makes me able to double my movement speed for 1 round if I want to, which I might well do.
Yeah, because you can get straight in that room if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I think that is what I will do.
If you stand there, you'll be behind the wall from the other one in case it jumps out, and you can get an attack of opportunity, I think, if it moves into your space. Or is it out of?
It's out of the threat range. The only ones who
Well,
can
it
do when you come
moves
into the threat
around
range
there,
is...
but it depends, because I won't be getting a hide thing after this, I don't think, because
No, you started by using your bonus action to hide, didn't you?
yeah, that's cut. So 21 to hit, Simon.
Yep, it hits.
Sneak attack this time.
Yeet. Oh god, I haven't done
That's
the...
not a good
Ooh,
save.
that's good.
Oh boy, that's also
Okay.
bad.
From to be at 26
Yeah, he's
points of
dead.
damage.
Yeah, dead ghast. Yeah, that not going to survive that.
Okay, good.
I'm not doing much in the way of damage to you guys. I need to pick up my game.
Well, you did hit me last time, and I took quite a nasty hit on
Yeah, that was
one,
last time.
so-
I want to do more damage.
Oh, that giant dragon that you've got in the last room will probably kill us, so you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, this
Yeah.
Dracolich,
Yeah.
you know.
yeah, it's the giant undead ancient dragon, which is like we should no way be facing at level 8. He's just that upset with us.
One of these days I want to make a demi Dracolich. It's instead of a floating skull, it's a floating dragon skull. I think that'd be far more intimidating. So there's another ghast that is just around the corner from Eclipse. Hasn't noticed her yet. Okay, Farewell's moving up, and
I think 30 I can get there.
you can get about there. Yeah, you can just about see because he's kind of stooped and thrashing about. You can see him occasionally.
You can see something moving.
I will cast Sacred Flame.
Yep, you know his location, so Sacred Flame definitely works. He's got, I guess, the equivalent to 3/4 cover, which is ignored by Sacred Flame. So
Yeah.
he's got to make a dexterity saving throw, because they've been doing well in that
17 is
so
your
far.
DC.
Yeah, he doesn't get anywhere near that. I rolled an 8 plus 3. Yeah, 11 does not go anywhere near. Roll for your damage, sir.
Sir.
That's 10 points of radiant damage.
Yep. He knows you're there now. And, yeah, he gets some holy sunburn and turns around, screeching with rage. And being that you're the one that hit him and the one that he saw when he turned around, he's going to run straight at you.
And Farewell will do his very best to look very brave and
that will
his
be your
shield and
glory.
his big knife.
Oh yes.
So, Glory, I have to do another dex saving throw because they've been doing great with us so far. Oh, sarcasm apparently
I'm
works.
throwing a chromatic orb, remember?
Oh no, you're throwing a chromatic orb, not an acid splash. Go for it.
Yeah, a normal chromatic orb. So first to hit, that's a 23.
Yep, that hits.
Yeah, that hits. And then it's a level 1, so it's only 3d8.
Yep, only 3d8.
Only. It's only 3d8.
Plus 4 because
I'm assuming
it's acid.
Yeah.
Ooh, 6 plus 6, that's 12. Plus 3, that's 15. That's 19 points of acid damage.
Yep, part of his left-hand side sloughs off onto the floor to pour Farewell's disgust.
I think Farewell will be like,
Farewell.
anytime I'll be okay with that.
He's just coming to your range, and you haven't gone up against the stench. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure. You watch me now rolling that one after making all those jokes.
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad. It's a Constitution saving throw. 19.
19, yeah. You've been around dead bodies before. You just, take it in your stride. He lashes out desperately in your direction, and a 21 hits you, and he deals you 9 points of slashing damage. And I would like you to do another Constitution saving throw.
For the paralyzing effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just rolling. Sorry. 4.
Yeah, you are currently paralyzed. You can feel your muscles locking up. So,
But it's all right because Farewell packed the. Oh.
Oh.
Well, he probably gets to repeat the saving throw, and once we've dispersed this one, we'll just wait around until.
Yeah, you just watch me go 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3.
What's your Constitution modifier?
+1.
Oh.
He's the live
who's
boy.
been graffitiing on my thing?
You.
No, it's not me.
No, it's Corinne. It's always
No, it's not me.
I was trying to find Farewell's sacred weapon just in case he casts it at some point. Right, so you're locked up at the moment. So next up is Aiden.
So is that still alive, is it?
It's still alive.
Iden,
Its flesh is missing, but it's still alive.
Iden will come right up to where Cora and Eclipse is, because I believe he can see him again through the door.
Yeah,
Glory. Yeah, he can see
Glory,
Glory
yeah,
now.
sorry. Yeah. And he will continue to cast Gun, because he knows that there's another door that they need to go back, so it'd be better.
Absolutely. So he loses a hit point. Roll to hit.
He negates it if he hits, I think.
Yeah. So that's 22 to hit.
Yeah, hits. So he gains the 1 hit point back. And roll for damage.
10 points of piercing.
Boom.
Yep.
In a repeat of the previous round, he blows away yet another ghast.
He's like, boom, headshot.
Doesn't it do extra damage to undead as well?
Only if I pick the ability. I'm not picking
Yeah.
the ability, because I'm not blowing his points. Just doing bog standard shots.
Yeah. Okay. Without all of the
Noise?
trashing everything, silence, well, close to silence, descends over the entire tomb. Now, you start to hear strange chanting, this this long kind of like Tibetan throat singing, almost like monks in some form of a trance, and it's coming from the south. So to give you an idea, there are 2 doors left, and
Yeah, one there and one right beneath me and Cora.
absolutely.
Sorry, when he said trance, I just got this mental image of everyone throwing shapes.
Yeah, that's it.
So Farewell is currently locked up, and there's one door to the end of the corridor, which is to the right for everybody watching, and that seems to be very quiet. Nothing much going on in there at all. But to the south, you can see the door that's next to Cora and Glory. There's now this subtle sound coming from it.
Do we
We are out of initiative now, or
No,
we're
you're
still
still in
initiative.
initiative. Glory is next to act, but you do have a paralyzed
yeah.
Farewell, so if you wanted to take 6 seconds to see if he can shake himself free of it, then that might be something to do.
I will ask Cora.
Farewell will be like, woo!
I will look down, see Cora right beneath me, and just like, if you move to the side, I can use my earring again and make me be over there, and we can open the door without them seeing us.
Sure. Yeah. When it's my turn.
You're that's why.
Yeah, so are you suggesting I move there?
Yes.
Yes. So I will.
Okay.
That way we will have Aiden on one side of the door, you on the other. I will not look like I'm standing there, but I will stand over where the green X is next to Aiden when I open the door.
Yeah, that's where your image currently is. So, you're over there. And
I caused the chromatic orb, but I will use it again to stand over there. So that's 3rd charge to use. There we go.
So you're using your prismatic earring, yeah? Okay, and
I'm standing over there.
so you're going to throw...
And then I will wait so that we can get Farewell fixed up.
Sure. Okay. So we're going to go round to Farewell again. So Cora has already moved. Are you going to hold an action, Kate?
Yeah, I'm going to hold an action because I'm thinking that Glory's going to burst the door open. So I'm holding an Eldritch Blast.
Sure.
Or 2 Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah.
At whatever I see in the room.
Sure.
Or enemy I see in the room.
Farewell. Your turn ends. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That's a nat 1.
Still paralyzed, dude.
No, surely he's still paralyzed but falls over.
The happens is Clips walks past thinking he's fine, hits him with his tail, and he just goes.
So,
That might
Eclipse,
be a problem.
you are with a paralyzed Farewell. If you guys want to go round again, I can just say that Eclipse is currently holding Farewell up.
Yeah, because I don't think I can do anything to help him much.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Okay. So Aiden stays and he's going to ready an action.
I'm just
He
gonna...
will prepare a shot,
Yeah.
so he'll just get his gun ready and he'll be prepared to go in as needed.
Sure. What was that, Eclipse?
Can I was gonna say, can I hide while holding him up? Just
underneath him, like I'm a puppet.
No.
What is this weekend at
You'll have to
Bernie's?
lay him down on the floor and then hide.
I just got this mental image of like Farewell stood there like that, and then like Clips kneeling down and just holding him behind his waist,
Yeah.
just trying to hold him up and just move him around.
I'm going to say no, you cannot hide whilst holding somebody up Weekend of Bernie's style. So, Aiden lines up the shot. There's more chanting. There doesn't seem to be much going on. Cora, I assume, reapplies her...
I first walk into the room, slap Farewell, hoping it might wake him up, and then come back to where I was when it doesn't
Sure.
work.
Farewell, you get slapped to no effect.
A little sign pops up that says Farewell will remember this.
So, Cora and Glory, unless you say anything to the contrary, I'm going to say that you go and save your action again.
Yep.
Being that
We're
it
waiting
isn't
one
costing you
round
anything
more.
at this stage to do so. So, Farewell, try it again.
Please.
Hey, natural 16, so 17.
You're back in the game.
Oh, okay, good.
All you hear is,
Hey, my slap worked!
oh!
Hey, it worked! It
Okay.
Cora, what's your medical skill?
worked! On medicine I have a +3.
A +3. Go on, roll it.
Oh dear.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You're fully aware that you did not cure him of his paralysis.
I
Oh.
totally cured you, dude. It's totally me.
Hold on.
Get back in the game. There's still people in here.
I believe her. I rolled insight to see if I believed her, and I rolled the nat one, so I completely believe that she killed it.
Great.
Bell just shrugs. Okay. Miracles happen.
Yes.
Who's to say she does not have mirror healing slapping powers? I mean, she couldn't shoot Eldritch Blast from her hands before, but can now.
Okay. So, let's make this easy and say who is going to open the door, and we'll go to
I
their
will.
initiative. Okay.
Yeah, it's all
So we
Glory's
go
job.
to Glory's initiative, and I would say, so we passed Eclipse during that time. So Eclipse, if you want to reposition yourself, you can do so now.
I will reposition and stealth.
Sure.
Stealth.
I made a little X where Glory's image is.
Thank you. I had to delete all the graffiti.
Yeah, that's fine. You can't stand there, Corinne, because then they will see you when I open the door. Yeah.
Stealth. I do not have an advantage. Why would I have advantage?
Never.
To 17.
Okay. Noted. So, Glory throws open the door. And as she does so, as everybody on the stream can already see, there's a room in front of you where a sarcophagus... there we go. A sarcophagus in the middle
Still
of the
black for us.
Yeah, we
Right.
can't see shit.
Okay, let me try that again. There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
yes.
In the center of the room, a sarcophagus is present, and it's covered with embossed engravings of great battles. And you can see that there is a figure with a large curved sword, and it's a lion-headed figure. And you can see that on the sarcophagus, you've got people in front of him, because he's holding up his sword in defiance. The people in front of him tend to be elves, dwarves, humans. There's a what seems to be a tiefling there as well, and they are not depicted well in these engravings. You can see that their faces are sneering, their teeth are sharp, their limbs are at really awkward kind of angles, normal depictions of the bad guys in most of these types of engravings. Whereas standing bolt upright, with his sword held aloft, is Jordan, and behind Jordan you can see once again dwarves, elves, humans, tieflings, orcs stood behind him in the same armor that looks a lot like the armor that Jordan himself is wearing, but they're all stood to attention and they're all holding these glaives, and they are very much depicted as the upright and noble figures there as well. So very kind of celebratory sarcophagus here. You cannot see from this distance the figure that's on top, so it seems to have some sort of carving on top, very kind of Egyptian in that style. So whoever's inside the sarcophagus has that is carved on top. Standing around it with a ritual circle that was made out of blood are 4 robed figures. From here you can see the 2 robed figures at the very bottom of the screen, that's over by Glory's and Cora's name, and they are facing roughly in your direction. They have no eyes. They have this sallow grey skin. They have no eyes. So they have eye cavities where they seem to just go into these black recesses, and they've got large toothless mouths that just hang open as if they haven't got a jaw. And from the mouths of these creatures, you can hear the door, and they're doing it quite quietly, but they seem to be chanting. The ritual circle on the ground is glowing with a sickly, dark red energy, and you can see in the one side of the room, to the right as Glory sees it, but to the left on all of us, there is a floating, glowing skull. And it's around about the size of a... Oh, what would I say? It's about the size of a medicine ball.
Sorry,
it's quite
Simon.
large.
Quick
Simon?
question.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go on, Felicia.
Well, opening the door wasn't an action, right?
No, it wasn't an action.
Then I would like to cast a spell.
Okay, before that I'll finish the description.
Yep.
So the floating skull has a strange aura around it, and it's roughly the size of a medicine ball, which is kind of apt, because if you want to guess what kind of creature it comes from, you would have to do a medicine check. If you want to know what the creatures around the circle are, you would probably need to do either an Arcana, Religion, or History check. You'd get slightly different results with each.
Mm-hmm.
You want us to do that now, or because we're like holding actions and various things? Should we just do that?
Yes.
Because this is quite a big reveal, I will say that Aiden, Glory, and Cora can now, and then Farewell and Eclipse can do so on their turn.
What am I rolling?
I rolled and I got my result, so I'll keep that.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good.
13 religion check for Aiden.
Yeah, well,
Right.
For Aiden, yeah. Aiden takes a look at them, and with his 13, says,
does this tie into his ghost huntery thing, and
Yes, it
thus
does.
get some kind of bonus?
I think
Which
he gets
I'm not
advantage.
sure, and I don't know what the bonus is.
I think it's
he has
advantage.
advantage. Yeah.
All right,
Roll
okay.
for advantage either way. I would say in this case I would grant advantage to him.
In that case, it's much better because it's a dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20. Yeah, he looks at them and goes, Bodax. And he seems to just stare at them with a mixture of concern and a little bit of fear.
I also got a dirty 20.
And what were you rolling?
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't hear what you said, but I rolled an 18, and then I get something plus. I guess if it's religion, it's +2. If
Okay.
it's Arcana, it's
are you rolling
+5.
Arcana?
Yeah,
You
so
roll
Arcana, so you can actually get a 23 on Arcana. Yeah, so you know that these are a form of chaotic undead called Bodaks. They have a
Toast.
nasty stare, which is ironic because they don't have any eyes. And you know that if you can see its eyes, you start to get terrified, and you start to think that your soul is being ripped out of your body and falling down into an abyss. So
Right.
pretty damn nasty. So the second that you see them, both you and this is why I was getting you guys to roll now, by the way, both you and Aiden know well to avert your gaze if you wish. Yeah. So
Okay,
you
guys, don't look at them, and I'm gonna throw a thing. I have an idea.
Yeah, hang on a sec. The other thing about it, because you got quite a high score, is that you know through Arcana that these things will be resistant to non-magical attacks, and they cannot be frightened. That's the rest of your stuff. And the last person to do a law check, and then we come back to you, Glory, is Cora.
I rolled a natural 19. So if it was a medicine, that would be a 22. If it was Arcana and stuff, it would just be the 19.
Okay, are you assessing the skull or are you assessing the four figures?
Because of my angle, I'm probably staring straight at the skull.
Okay,
that's
so
floating.
what's your medicine if you apply medicine to that?
22.
22. Absolutely. You are walking into the crypt, the resting place of one of Juradan's followers. And so when you look at that skull, you immediately go, that's a tabaxi skull. Just bigger. The glowing skull appears to be tabaxi.
Okay. Cool, yes.
But the size of a medicine ball, which is roughly twice the size of my head. Okay. So, back to you, Glory, being that you throw the door open, you've still got your action, you've displaced your image. What are you doing?
Well, this room is the perfect size for a thing I know how to do. So, I'm gonna throw up an acid wall that hurts the ones inside it.
Okay, so do you want to draw your acid wall on there for us?
Yeah. Something like that, I think it is. Yeah, that'll do.
Yep, that looks about right.
Yeah, because
Sure,
it's
so
20-foot diameter.
and I
so
need to do some saves, don't I?
Let's see here. When you cover blah blah blah, one action, concentration, wall of fire. You make the wall up. Let's see here. Or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick. Wall is opaque and lasts for the duration. When the wall appears, each creature within it must make a saving throw, and we agreed that it was a Constitution saving throw.
It is indeed. So let me just do those for a sec. So, interesting. Okay, so that's a fail, a success, a
My
fail.
spell DC is 16. So,
Yeah, 3 fails and a success.
Okay.
I think it's your spell focus a +1 focus.
Yeah,
You should be already including that.
but that's already included.
Okay.
If it's correct. Okay, well done. Let's see here. 5d8 on a failed save, or half that on
so
a
you-
successful.
Roll the damage once and it applies. Yeah.
And throw. Let's see here. Okay. That's 7, 10, 17, 22, 25, 25. So 25 or what?
Or
25.
12.
Oh yeah, plus 4. So 29.
Oh, okay. Just applying this. I love Campaign Lab. This makes things so much easier. So
Yeah.
29, and so that would be 14.
Oh, by the way, Farrell, I think...
And if they since on the inside of the wall, I decreed that it will do damage. So if they end its turn within 10 feet of that side or inside the wall, it takes 5d8 acid damage.
Sure.
Or when it goes through it, it also takes that damage.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Fucking glass cannon. And I'll explain.
I can only throw one of those, to be fair.
Yeah, 4th
Yeah.
level spells, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're using it the right thing. So just to show you the effect, 3 of them, as they're doing this kind of Tibetan throat singing, just suddenly start hacking and coughing. They're undead, they don't need to breathe, but they're trying to produce a sound, and this acid just suddenly goes inside their orifices and starts to burn. And it's also burning their flesh. You do notice the one thing it doesn't affect is the hovering, glowing skull. In fact, give me a quick perception check, Laurie.
Yes. I like doing checks. Okay, what's my perception? That's plus 4. That's a 15?
Yeah, 15. You watch as a plume of acid cloud goes straight through it. So the plume starts off going like in its left ear and comes out of its right ear, and it even though the plume is kind of moving, you're like, yeah, that skull isn't tangible.
Yeah.
So, Simon, we can't see them now, right? Because they are within the wall of things. So
They are obscured. The wall does obscure them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
that's fine.
I was
If
holding
I-
an action.
Yeah, I was going to say so.
Should
was
I
I.
have been able to have got that off?
Go
before-
off approximately the same time as my attack?
So the gun and the Eldritch Blast are fired without penalty because they, as Glory threw her acid spell into it, and this wispy line of green mist started before it exploded. You threw your kinetic bolts in, this force bolts in, and Aiden got off a shot. So if
Yeah.
you'd like to declare...
Kate, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
There you go.
I don't mind. What, you were holding an action as well?
Yeah.
For Ivan, yeah. I was holding something for him.
Oh, I see. It doesn't necessarily matter because I'm going to go for this one. I expect Aiden's going to go for that one, right?
No, Ivan's going to actually use Lumion Discharge, which is an AoE effect.
Oh,
Which
sure. Well,
you're going to burn a finesse point to do that. So if you want to go, and I'll do that
But-
after you.
sure. Yeah. I mean, I think angle-wise, even though this guy's closer, I think I don't know. Either this one or this
do
one
your
doesn't
thing.
really matter.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's
So,
do it.
see.
Cora, you have to...
Oh, that's cocked. That's cocked on almost a natural 20. Okay, do that
So,
again. What?
Cora, you do have to roll with disadvantage because you got
Ooh.
the same thing as the other guys, that they saw that this strange sucking
so
out
I
your
looked
soul
down.
kind of thing, and you kind of look at the robes and then throw the bolts. But as you do so, you look down to avoid looking at the face. So you are throwing both of these with disadvantage. The good news is they haven't got the worst AC. Being robes.
Probably 11.
That one does miss.
16.
16 does hit.
So it's just 1d10, right?
1d10. And this is why I like Eldritch Blast, by the way, because where all of them go up by the same damage dice, Eldritch Blast splits the to hit, so you've got a more reliable damage tick.
Yeah.
That's an 8
An
points
8, yeah, sure.
of damage.
You get the satisfying kind of splatting sound as the... oh, hang on. I just got rid of too much. There we go. Nice satisfying splatting sound as this creature gets hit in the face.
Good.
And so Lumen Discharge. Did I put the
Item will
on?
turn. Item will turn, look into the room, but he will only look at chest height because he, as a blood hunter, would know to avert his gaze, so he's not going to be looking up. He's only going to be looking at chest. It's a 20-foot cone into the room.
It is indeed.
And they need to make a dexterity save. Undead have disadvantage on this save.
So this
undead of CR is, I'm assuming that's CR 1/4 or lower. Are obliterated.
Yeah. So these are above 1/4, and so I've brought up the item on the stream. So this is Lumen Discharge that we're looking at here, and as you said, 20-foot cone, dex save with disadvantage because these are undead. And so for the 20-foot cone, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 2 nearest ones that you can get.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going to rule that he's like, yeah, it's a cone. I don't need to look at them. So he just puts his arm around the corner, fires the gun, and it explodes in this radiant fire. So first one. Okay. Well, that's not the worst. That is a 14, which I don't think...
No, that's a fail.
That's a fail.
I think his DC's higher than that.
And this one has a natural 20 and a 7, so both of them fail. Please roll me 4d6 and add his dex. And this is 2 damage types in one. It's radiant and fire.
Yeah. It's double.
50,
yeah, the other two are 25 foot away.
That's 19 points of radiant and fire damage.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. So they are resistant to fire, but they're not resistant to the radiant. So that works out very well. And so you said 19, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, they do not have a good time of it. Not in any way. 1, 2. Yep, cool. So both of them take quite a bit of damage. And they took quite a bit of damage from the wall as well. So, yeah, this is going to be... this is not going to take very long, I should imagine. So next up from Aiden... Oh, hang on. That was Glory opening the door.
Yeah, that was me opening the door.
Prize round.
It's actually... Next up is actually Cora. So the... Oh, actually, there's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yep. So there is something that Cora has to do. So at the beginning of your turn, you take 5 necrotic damage. Sorry, 10 necrotic damage. At the beginning of your turn, Cora.
Oh dear.
Okie dokie.
You have averted your gaze.
Headache.
So you don't have to worry about the death gaze. But yeah, you did take the 10 points of damage. What would you like to do?
I will, as it seemed to work before, I'm going to do another Eldritch Blast towards the same one.
Direction.
Okay. This time it is obscured, so you still continue to have disadvantage. Finally, averting your gaze plus the obscurity. It's let me get this right. I think the obscurity counts as cover. Yeah, I'm gonna rule because you're averting your gaze and fighting it and firing into cover. So I'm gonna raise its AC a bit, but see if you get it.
Sure, no problems.
Yeah, it's a potluck at this point.
Yeah.
Besides,
a natural 20 and a natural 19 on my dice.
So you get one hit. Yeah. Roll for your second attack.
No, the disadvantage on that one was a 3, so...
Oh.
Okay, so just a D10's worth of force damage, but hey, not bad.
It's only 3 points. Oh well.
Yeah,
well.
it's. I think that's three
I
points
just
of
grazed his
pride.
shoulder a bit, like,
Yeah.
"Chew!"
Yeah, 3 points of pride. You hear a definite slap as one of your bolts hit. I mean, in all fairness, this is a pretty good tactic. You filled the room full of acid, and now you're throwing spells in that you can afford to just keep doing. You're kind of just blitzing the room at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meat grinder.
Murder hole!
Well-
Murder hole!
The funny thing is, if they try to move out of the acid, they will take a shit ton of damage. If they stay in the acid, they will take a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, I'm slightly
They are
worried.
going to be right in our faces, though, if they move out towards the
Yeah,
door.
I am slightly worried. And I'll tell you again why I was there going, oh, of course, why didn't I think of this? So, farewell, it's your turn. Be all you can be, or be someone else.
He's still rubbing his face because that really hurt. He's like, it's just so mean. I don't even know why. Why
I
would
was
you
trying
do
to
that?
wake you up! You were paralysed. It helped. I didn't hit you that hard. I'm tiny. Don't be such a wimp.
You were
Such a wimp. Yeah, don't be such a wimp. He sort of goes, that's a bit harsh.
Poor farewell.
And he will cast Beacon of Hope.
Sure.
Aw.
Farewell.
Oh,
You
nice.
don't know what's in the room, by the way, because as you look in, all you can see is a swirling cloud of acid, which is kind of good news, bad news, because, first of all, you cannot roll to identify the Bodax. However, neither can you see their eyes. So,
But in Farewell's defense, he never looks anybody in the eye anyway.
However,
let alone,
there is one thing.
let alone natural.
Farewell,
Go on.
I'm afraid you take 10 points of necrotic damage just being near them.
Yeah. By the way, Simon, I imagine when Glory's holding a concentration spell, there is actual bits of acid just swirling around her arms.
Sure. Yeah. That it's your CGI budget. Yeah, you
Yes.
go with
Don't
it.
get too close.
Yeah.
But he will cast, because of that, he's taking the damage and he can't see what's going on, and he's figuring that everybody's probably going to be taking this kind of damage. He casts Beacon of Hope.
Yep.
Choose any number of creatures within range. It's a 30-foot range, so that means I can get all of the party with that.
Sure.
Everybody
Yep.
has advantage on wisdom saving throws, death saving throws, and you regain the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing.
Oof.
Which is awesome. Okay.
That is really good.
Yeah, it's a really good spell.
It is a good spell.
And that's my turn. So I
Okay.
can't do anything else.
Next up is Eclipse. So Eclipse, I'm afraid same deal with you. Good news is you don't have to go up against an ability called Death Gaze, but neither can you identify what is in the swirling mass of acid.
So I'm currently stealth to them.
Yeah.
We are currently in dim light, are we?
Dim light. Yeah. Yes, you definitely are. Yes, you are.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you're underground.
I'll get my Shadow Blade up,
Mm-hmm.
and it has advantage in dim light.
Sure. So you're going to be aiming at these strange shadows shifting in this acid cloud, and
Yeah.
I assume you're going to throw your shadow blades.
Yes.
Sure.
So since I have 2 advantages and 1 disadvantage, do I still have advantage? Or how is it
No, it
running
doesn't
it?
work that way. It doesn't matter how many advantages and how many disadvantages; they just cancel out to a regular roll.
Almost.
Regular roll. Yeah, shut up and roll.
Do
And
I
after
still
that,
get
we're going to
sneak-
have a break. So,
do I still get sneak attack on it though?
yes, you do, because you are obscured many times over.
Many times over.
Yes.
Yeah, they've got dark vision up to 120 foot, but no blind vision, so they haven't got a clue.
They haven't. No. They just suddenly hurt a lot, and green filled their vision.
Yeah, they're just like, why am I hurting so much?
All I was doing was singing.
Dim light. Does the guys who don't have dark vision have a problem? Because I don't have dark vision. I don't think as Cora.
Glory cast light on one of you at the beginning.
No, I've cast dancing lights. But they're out now because they concentration, and I'm holding it on the acid wall now.
Yeah, so
unfortunately, no. The only thing that you see is that the glowing skull is partially lighting the shifting shadows inside the the thing. So
it's pretty double disadvantage basically. So anyway.
So double disadvantage and double advantage. Still no particular difference to what your attacks were. So what is it?
10 doesn't hit, I assume.
No, it doesn't.
11. 11.
No, 11. The shadow blade just whistles through the cloud and it reappears in your hand.
Yeah.
Damn.
Can I use my lash knife as an offhand attack, or because it's technically a knife and it's simple and light?
Yeah, go on. Yeah. You know the rules for lash knife, so. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, go on.
Yeah. 17 plus 7, 24.
Okay, you go for a slightly more reliable tactic as you flick your knife through and you just swing it round in an arc, which is going to be easier to find things that you can't see. So, roll for damage.
Sneak attack?
Strangely, yes, because they don't know you're there.
Yeah.
Even though you can't target the attack, but yeah.
Very, very, very good.
In other words, Eclipse wants me to throw up acid wall more often because then she has infinite sneak attack while they're inside.
Yeah, I need to check the definition of sneak attack to see if it's a creature you can see, but yeah.
So the 4 plus 3 is fun. And there's I'm not adding any of my other modifiers, it's just 25.
25 points, yep. So one of them gets caught. And it's one of the ones that got hit with the lumen discharge. And he dared. He is dead.
Nice. One down, 3 to go.
Yeah, this is the barrel, they are the fish. You are shooting fish in the barrel.
Yeah?
Oh, I feel bad. Simon seems so sad.
They were just sat
beautiful
there.
Fish! They were just so beautiful.
They were chilling with the dudes. That's all they were doing. Just chilling with the dudes, spending some time. You know, they're playing the undead version of Rock Band, and then these guys come in and just murderize them all.
That's exactly what it turns out. We've just broken into and busted up some choir group. It's just the undead choir group. They meet every single Tuesday, and we just happened to show up on a Tuesday, murdered all of their friends, and just completely ruined their singing circle. They were going to nationals, people.
They were getting together. It was a special day. It was Krasnak's death day and everything, and just these thugs just came in, looting as they went. So just
And the worst thing is, they didn't even have the courtesy to let us finish the song. They attacked halfway through.
Yeah,
it was going to be my solo.
Yeah, the solo and the drum solo were coming up. It would have been spectacular, but no, it was not to be. And now acid. So
yes,
Aiden, who had the lumen discharge on his held action, it's him, and then maybe, if I got a chance, one of the Bodaks. So what's Aiden doing?
Are we just cracking on, or are we going to have a break?
Good point. Let's have a break. So let me just put up the.
By the way, you forgot to remove Aiden's point when he used his ability earlier.
No, because I will give him mine. Sorry, I forgot.
But you didn't
about that.
have one, did you?
I do. I've got the little dot, so Aiden's got one back.
Okay. Because I was looking at the stream and you didn't.
I thought that's what that little dot on my forehead was.
No.
So, but you would have got
No,
one
that's.
because
I think that's linking you in the.
That was linking you and
weapon.
your weapon. It's the little yellow dot next to your name that's important. So yes, you're quite right. Aiden's lost one.
You would. You guys.
I'm not within
would have
10
gotten
feet
one.
of it.
You were when the other guest, remember, that you killed when it was right next to me.
Yes, well done, yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Yes, you actually have one farewell. So here, have a
Back
dot.
into Aiden then.
Okay,
Yeah,
And
goes back to
Farewell
Aiden.
will not have one.
Yeah. I need to look at the finesse point system a little closer.
Yeah.
Mine is not super useful. So.
So
It feels like it would be nice if we could use it to give ourselves advantage once and then it's used up.
just like inspiration instead.
Yeah, like the audience are giving us inspiration.
Maybe.
I like mine, even though I haven't got to use it.
I'm not saying
Don't
cancel
remove
the.
mine.
I don't mean cancel the
Exactly,
current one. I just mean an extra little option.
Yeah, I think as just using it flat for advantage would be quite a useful little thing. So I need to put this up on the chat, which I'd forgotten to do. I don't have chat open at the moment because I've got so many other things open. I actually had to put an extra monitor in to be able to do all this because Roll20 still isn't playing with OBS. I tried it a dozen times and it's just not happening. So let's go into chat. And the link is... It's going to come from my personal account. So it's going to come from Casca Niobe. And... streampoll.tv/55761 send. So there we go.
Nice.
That's the link to start voting. And let's face it, it's Farewell. Vote for Farewell on the screen because he's the only one that's left.
Yes.
Right.
And then we'll slap it out of him.
Oh,
Right, bio break.
so cruel. So cruel.
Break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yep. See you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh no, someone is...
Welcome back, everybody. So when we left off, let's bring the players back in as well. When we left off, Aiden was about to hopefully put a bit more pain onto these Bodaks, who seem to be doing some sort of ritual around the sarcophagus, before the entire party just opened up on them, with Glory throwing an acid wall around them, Cora throwing bolts of force in, Aiden discharging his pistol, and just everybody laying the smackdown. So the next up is Aiden. Now Aiden got his finesse point back. So what are you doing? Nick instead of Rodrigo.
Question is, how much space is there in that room? For example, could Aiden maneuver himself enough so that basically, hold on, if I can use the drawing tool, he can make his 20-foot cone go that way. So basically, I think he would look to find an angle where he could basically stand in the corner of the room and hit the 3 remaining that are in there.
Yeah, it's just the whole going past there.
If you guys were pushed, if you were on a back foot, I would say yeah, sure, because this that circle is a bit big for the 20-foot the 20-foot diameter. Is it 20-foot diameter? 20-foot radius.
Radius, isn't it?
Oh
no, it's 20-foot diameter.
So
without snapping, it is okay. Yeah, it's slightly big.
Yeah, there would be a few foot with which to maneuver, but because you guys are ahead, I'm gonna say no in this case. That if he goes through there, he'll have to make a save like everybody else. Just because.
And on success,
it's a bit dangerous to head into the room as well.
Yeah.
It's not us. If it was one of us.
Thank you for reminding me. At the beginning of his turn, he needs to take 5 necrotic damage.
I assume so do I, because I didn't take any of last time.
Yes, you did. You needed to take. Actually, you needed to take 10 Eclipse because you, when you started, both Bodaks, the near Bodaks, were alive. Well, they were undead. Rather than
that's a lot of damage. I'm like, half life right now.
So with the damage taken, what's Aiden going to do?
Well, melee would be unwise. What? Now, this is an interesting thing, and I'll ask you. It says here, your Crimson Right, imbue a weapon with extra damage of your chosen based on your level. Could Aiden imbue his pistol with his Crimson Right and thus have his bullets?
Yes, but it's already on his. It's already
sword.
On his sword. If he can do it again, then absolutely he can do it on his gun.
I think I only can make one.
The right can be used on multiple weapons, costing additional hit point loss. So yes, he can do it.
Take the pain, yeah, sure.
Well then.
Cool. In that case, he will do it for Radiant onto his pistol, and he will turn into the room. Just want to look at something because I know you gave him a pistol that can do some really fun stuff. Okay, we're not going to do Scorn, we're not going to do Lumion because we can't quite get the other 2. So we'll just do a bog standard blood fire shot. Assume disadvantage, or is they just put the...
It's disadvantage, yeah. Pretty much
cool.
Everything that you're working with Aiden at the moment is disadvantage because you're firing into a swirling, clouded room at shadows that sometimes appear. So you're not entirely sure what distance. And he's averting his gaze even if he wasn't, so yeah.
My god, his plus hit is disgusting.
He's all about the dex, man.
Yeah.
All about the dex.
Even with disadvantage, it's a 22 to hit the one on the left. So the one at the front on the left.
Hits. Roll for damage.
Cool. So that is 1d10 plus 2d6. Because he gets an extra 1d6 because it's undead.
That's right.
and he gets another d6 because of the Crimson Rites.
Yeah.
But I think I'll roll the d10 separately because that's non-magical damage. So that's...
It is magical damage.
Oh, is it? Oh, the pistol is magical.
His gun fires a blood red fire.
Ah, cool. In that case, I'll add it all together for you. So that's 11, 16, plus 5, 21 points of damage.
He dead. He's very dead.
Yeah. And I will just do that plus that. Aiden's quickly becoming glory levels of squishy with all this blood right stuff. It's only one shot per attack action, yeah?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, cool, then that's his turn.
I just had a look at the Witchlock's pistol. So are you using Bloodfire Shot or Scorn of the Calelm at the moment?
Bloodfire Shot, because Scorn of the Calelm only puts disadvantage, it doesn't do any damage. So it's So it's 1d8 plus dex, so then it's also 1d6 radiant if they're undead.
Yeah, but he added that.
According to the thing I've got, it says 1d10.
Let's have a look. I've just put it up on the screen.
Bloodfire
Shot.
I could have it wrong. Sorry.
Yep. So I've got it here. Bloodfire Shot costs 1 hit point. Range 60 foot. 1d8 plus dex mod plus 1 fire damage. If the target is undead, they also take a d6 radiant damage. If this attack hits, Aiden regains the hit point.
Sorry, I've been rolling the wrong damage dice for him. I've been rolling a d10. Do you want me to re-roll the damage?
In all fairness, you've been rolling a d10 in place of a d8 and a d6, so if anything, you've been nerfing yourself slightly. Rather than redoing all the maths, let's just change from now on. The damage has been more than sufficient, so let's stick with that.
No, just thought we would catch up now for future reference.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's fine.
Good. So, that's Aiden, which means the Bodek's turn. So, first of all, not liking that.
TPK.
Well, the Bodak's TPK. I hope.
You know they can just surrender now. It's a perfectly valid strategy.
I'm gonna kill them, you know. Even if they surrender, they're gonna die.
Damn it.
And they're undead, so... By all means, both Farewell and Aiden will want them back in the grave.
You're not going to get any arguments of Farewell putting these things back in their grave.
So, they're not going to go through the wall, but they are going to walk up to where their fallen brethren were.
Oh!
Okay, yes, this means they get damage at the end of their turn, I think it is.
Yes, so if they end their turn, they get 5d8 damage.
So, oh wow, how do I do this? Sure, let's see how this works. So, they're going to make perception checks to try and see through the wall. They know Glory was the one that cast the spell. So they're going to try to get her to drop the spell.
Right.
This one is going to look for her with is it with disadvantage?
It's through an opaque wall.
It's through an opaque wall, but
aren't you still duplicated as well?
No, that disappears when I attack.
Yeah, when she attacks, she drops the image.
I dropped that in order to raise the wall.
Unless they are. Yes, so if they're going to try to see her, I think it would be with...
Hi, Dad! He's in the chat.
Hello, Felicia's dad. So,
he called me!
I'm going to go with... In order to see Glory, they're going to roll not with disadvantage, because staring through the wall is the DC when you think about it. So, the difficulty of looking through a wall is going to be quite high anyway. I'm not going to give them disadvantage on top. That would be if another factor other than the wall that is the DC was there. So they're going to both try to see Glory. and they're both going to try to damage her to see if they can get her to drop the damn wall. So, first of all, okay, one of them manages to see through, and the other one doesn't. You can hear this as it chants, and you can suddenly see, Glory, through the mist. You can see these two swirling dark. I was about to say abyssal. They're undead.
Yeah.
But abyssal, as in these two pools of absolute darkness staring at you. Do me a Constitution saving throw. I appreciate, because you're a sorceress, this is actually quite good.
I want to use Arcane Gambit.
I have no idea what that is. What is it?
It's on my Eye of Glory.
Oh, damn it. It's something I invented. Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah.
I write a lot of stuff. So let's go down to the Eye of Glory. Eye of Glory. Arcane Gambit. When Glory is targeted by a spell, she may spend sorcery points equal to the spell level to attempt to absorb the spell into her bracelet. She must make a charisma saving throw with a DC equal to 10 plus the spell level, or lose the spell. So a finesse point can be used to have advantage on the saving throw. So don't bother with using the advantage.
No.
You have... I didn't say that you use your reaction for this. It is a reaction. I'll
assume that since it's when I'm targeted by a spell.
Yeah, so you use your reaction for it. I'll rata that. It is not a spell. It's an innate ability. You can only do the Arcane Gambit if it's a spell. So don't use the finesse point.
No.
So I'm not going to be that much of a dick. You keep the finesse point, but you lose your reaction.
Okay.
Okay, as you try to apply it and then go, damn it, it's not one of those. So do me a DC... Well, I'll keep the DC back.
Yeah.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, sure. That is a 17 plus 5, so a 23.
23. Yeah, I've realised that one of the things that a sorceress has is a high Constitution, and you're proficient in your Constitution saving throws. So you get half damage for that then. So that is... What is that? That's an 8. So 12, 19... 23. So it's 11 points of damage. So you take 11 points of necrotic damage as you feel it tugging at your soul, trying to rip it out of your body. And I would like you to make a DC 10 concentration check.
Concentration check. Which is that? It's just a normal roll.
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, then I got a 21.
So you keep your acid wall up. So they have done all they can to try and save their hides. Roll damage for your acid wall, please, Glory.
I can hear Simon crying on the inside.
Ooh.
There's a DM going, I'm just going to throw waves at these fuckers, and then just sitting back watching as everybody dies.
I have a very cool encounter that I did on Tuesday that I might throw at you at some point.
34.
34 points of damage. Do they get a save versus this?
I don't know. It only says
I don't think so.
When you cast the spell, the damage deals 5d8 acid damage to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of that side or inside the wall. Says nothing about a save for the secondary damage. It's only the initial one.
Wow.
I think that's the reason why Firewall, whilst it's situational, if you get the situational, it's devastating. Absolutely destroy.
Yeah, it says. Wow. Deals 5. Yeah. What does it say for when you go through the wall? I'm just going to check something a sec.
Yeah, you do that.
Creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall for the first time or ends its turn there.
Yeah, they do not get any saving throws. I'm checking Sage Advice right now, Simon, and they don't get any saving throws while they're in there and they're ending their turn.
Okay, in that case, these are fairly intelligent creatures, so what they're going to do is that they'll take their damage, like good little Bodaks, but they are going to be moving out of the wall as they do so. So,
which they take another set of damage.
No,
then.
they just take the one set of damage for moving out of there, and at the end of their turn they
Yeah.
take no damage. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So if they
It's
thought,
the same damage, it's
Yeah, it's
just
the same
that they
damage,
move out of the wall instead of staying
so
inside
remind me
it.
again, how much was that?
30.
30.
35 was 35.
No, 34, I mean.
Oh, 34,
yeah,
of course,
just
yeah.
plus my charisma, yeah.
Okay. So 2 figures come stumbling out of the acid wall because they failed to get you to drop it. The one that's closest to Aiden steps out heavily damaged and does this still trying to get this resonance to continue. The second one comes out, hits the wall, and becomes a smear down it. Just basically hits the wall and then turns into blancmange down the side of the wall. As it can't hold its body together any longer.
Yeah. It's my turn now.
That was their... Shut up. Let me wait. I don't care if your dad's here. I'm crying on the inside. That was their turn. Their turn, may I point out. Glory, it is your turn.
Well.
Shall we start by having her take 5 points of damage?
Yes.
I was just going to
What
look on
a
the basis
good
of Simon.
idea. What
just
a
wanna
good
have a
damned idea. How about we start by you having 5 points of damage, Glory, and a Constitution saving throw to see if you keep your wall up.
Do you just want to end the conflict now? I mean, like I said, surrender is an option.
19.
Sure, you keep your acid wall up. So what would you like to do? You can see that one of the Bodaks is in the corner of the room. He's trying to stare at you, and you're currently averting your gaze. If you continue to do that, it's disadvantage to hit him on any distance spell.
Yeah.
Make him do a save. Your acid splash is a save.
Nah, I was
Yeah, because Simon's been rolling really well on his saves.
I was just gonna throw a chromatic orb at him.
You do you. Go on, fucking do it. You do you.
Yeah.
Because you avoid a disadvantage if you do a save, but yeah, do whatever you want.
No, you want to get that orb on. You throw that orb.
I want to throw a fucking chromatic orb at it, because that's 3d8.
Do it. Roll with disadvantage.
With disadvantage. Okay. That's a nat 20 and an 18.
Okay, so it hits, but thankfully no nat 20.
No, I would have just gone, no, I'll get rid of that. I feel bad for him now. I feel bad for him having to cancel that crit.
12... 16 damage.
Wow. In what I can only describe
I don't think
as
you can move
an acid washing machine, these powerful Bodaks that can get you to 0 hit points with a look, if they ever had a bloody chance to have that look, get melted away and are now
We're not going to give them a
puddles
chance if
on
they
the
can get us to
floor.
a 0 hit points.
Yeah.
No.
Especially considering that, like, Glory walked into this whole dungeon with the sole principle of, I need to get my murder on. I've been really good, I've let you do all the talking, and I've stood there and I've played nice. Now is my murder time. This is happy time murder time.
Yeah.
Let you murder stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're undead, so no one will complain.
We are out of initiative, guys. The acid wall finally peters
Drops.
out and disappears into the ether, being that it was a magical effect, leaving behind pools of the artist formerly known as Undead.
Mm-hmm.
You can see in front of you...
Is the skull still hovering?
The skull is still hovering, and as you see the acid clear, the acid has also rubbed away a lot of the ritual circle.
Yeah.
And the skull suddenly lets out a kind of a gasp, almost of relief. It kind of goes, "Thank you, mortals. I took all my strength to resist their ritual. Thank you. What brings you to this place?"
Hello, my name is Eclipse of the Moon, and I'm looking for the Heart of Duradan, and I've heard that there might be some type of canopic jars here, which might be the key to finding it.
Many
Who
have
might you
come.
be, Mr. Skull?
My name. I have forsaken my name. If indeed you have come here for the jars, you will prove yourself twice over to get the jar that I hold. And to do so, you will have to know my name now and hear my tale. I was of the people, and Naru, as are you, I can tell from your accent.
You're racist.
Forgive me. I am weak, and if you are worthy, look forward to oblivion.
Is there anything I can do for you now?
Only listen to my tale. Perchance
I will
blame me,
gladly.
and then potentially release me. I was an advisor for the Lion Lord, Joradan. Back then not given the name the Great, for that would be considered small for what he was. He was a walking god. Those who saw him walk by felt their lives were complete. My tale begins not as he left Austran, but later. But first you need to know why we left. It wasn't for the wanderlust that most of our people set sail onto the shores of other lands. No. Austran was going through a terrible blight. Unable to create the food that it needed to sustain its populace, we set off for more fertile shores. But it wasn't enough. Those of us who had gone and now settled in the lands that you call the Vardencore, well, they were cut down, enslaved, treated as beasts or curiosities. Us, the Naru! So we turned up in force. We needed to feed our people. We needed to send aid back. And Joradan, one of the bravest of our warriors, knew how to do it. As far as he was concerned, it was time for conquest, to repay the blood debts of those who had been wronged, those who came before us on these alien shores. For my sins, I confess it was my role to be one of his advisors, to stand by his side with wisdom and intelligence, to cull his more bestial urges as he started to get hell-bent on conquest. But he was wise, and we were making sure that he used his wisdom and his great personality, as well as his sword. As I say, he walked everywhere, a living god. Not only did he manage to take people down in battle, and then raise into his own armies those who showed honor in battle. More, far more. You see, he would send behind him builders, scholars, tutors. He would educate them, make their lives better than when they were before they were conquered. He made them love him, other than these petty, grasping, greedy Vardencore nobles. And it was glorious. We set foot on every property, as gods and saints amongst them. After a while, we didn't even need to fight. Only the proudest nobles, the largest cities, those who believed themselves capable of defending against our sieges, fought. Smaller settlements gave us applause, called out Joradan's name. Warriors flew towards him, not to fight him, but to kneel at his feet with their swords held high, pledging fealty to his name and asking for a place in his horde. Ah, such golden days for the Golden Lord. Wherever he set foot, there was unity and peace, a new age, a renaissance. And yet, this age of wonder went to our heads. Gods, I said it twice now. We thought ourselves gods. Those who had come up to us, seeking to join our ranks, we got complacent. We allowed them in, of course we did. Those of great renown, those who have gained power through personality, those of great knowledge, regardless of the knowledge. They stepped into our ranks, and they rose, because Joradan prized above all talent. Suddenly, surrounded by strangers, our lot became far more complicated. Our politics, our policies, now dictated by strangers, those who did not know the shores of Austran, those who did not know our original goals. And so, it is my mistake. I was responsible for looking with wisdom and knowledge to the threats within. It is my fault, as it is the others that you will meet, if you are worthy. And so I ask you, Naru, and ask you alone, what is my name? Why do I weep? Why do I have this penance and feel this pain? Name me. Name me so that I may be forgiven and go to the hereafter and join my lord.
I will gently place my hand on Eclipse's shoulder and just whisper, "It's okay. You've got this." And I'll cast guidance on her.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm guessing this is a name I can guess.
It is. And all the clues were said in the narrative.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you cut up a little bit in certain words, but I think I got most of it.
I kind of laid it on a bit thick, so you should do okay. So just think of what I was saying and name the character.
So it's a pretty Tabaxian name as in the Eclipse of the Moon? Or would
No,
it be...
he's already... I'll make that bit clear. He told you that he has shunned his previous name and has now given himself a new name. And he wants you to name him. Tell him his name that he may now be released. He
wants a new name, not his
he has
old
named
name.
himself already. He's named himself in his guilt and his grief. He's named himself as penance. Now, you know that your name as a Naru is a very important thing. It's why they're so different and they're so poetic and beautiful. There's a name that this guy has given himself. I will tell you it's a single word that he's given himself. And he's given it to himself in punishment and penance for what he's done. And so he's giving you a story where a single word, although I will allow synonyms, a single word is his name now. If you name him, he will be able to go off to if he's Kurdish, the Hall of Swords. If he's under Corellon, he will go off to the Everglade. So
he'll go off to whatever.
Elysian Fields, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
Arrogance.
Okay. Let me just do a check. Because I gave... Yep. So I chose a word, but I said I'd allow any synonym because otherwise this would be an unfair test. So arrogance, synonyms are hubris, egotism, pomposity, boasting,
That was the word I was looking
bluster,
for.
vanity,
Hubris.
and most importantly, his name is pride.
Yeah.
So he
I was
called
going to go
himself
with
pride.
So
And as you turn around and call him arrogance, he suddenly feels a rush of energy and disappears.
I'm very
You
proud
got
of
it
you.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That
No, I'm
looks
really
like
proud
the
of
correct-
you. You sent him on his way.
Thank you. I know that's really important to you.
Yeah.
So he's been trapped here all this time?
Centuries.
Wow.
Yeah.
How lonely.
Well, lonely till these guys showed up, and she points at the piles of goo.
I wonder how long they've been here.
Not long, I don't think, from the looks of it. I think if they'd been here a long time, they would have finished that spell.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I guess if the turtle guy trapped them in, then yeah, it wasn't all that long ago.
From
Well,
the,
shall we...
from the air, you can hear a slightly less unearthly voice now, but still of the same timbre as he says, "You are worthy, Eclipse of the Moon, and also to your group for the services rendered, a parting gift. Goodbye."
Ooh.
And his presence disappears completely, and
The skull
a
goes?
small the skull's already gone. I've already removed it from the map.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
sorry.
there's a sudden rush of air, and on top of just sat on top of the sarcophagus, as if it's always been there, is a very small jar, and it's an ornamental jar with a lion's head. It seems to be gold leaf all over ceramic. Vibrant colours, and yeah, it looks like a canopic jar.
I'll pick it up and have a look at it.
Sure. You pick it up, and it seems to be a canopic jar.
I'll put it in my bag of holding.
Sure. At that point, the fireplace, which is what it was, where the skull is, suddenly creaks and groans, and the wall collapses behind it. As the wall collapses, a rug spills out onto the floor.
Huh? Okay.
A rug.
Okay.
A rug. Can I have a look at the rug?
I can imagine just Eclipse's eyes do that whole like cat thing where they just go really wide. It's just like loot.
Yeah, I'm just calling up the stats for it. Okay.
Rug of smothering, you're dead.
So
It's a trap rug.
you pull out the rug, and it covers 2 squares. It's 6 foot wide and nearly 10 foot long, and
Oh my.
the carpet is beautiful. It's very, very old. You recognize it from your backstory, Eclipse. So the art on it. It is of a very old Naru weave, and as you run your hand over it, you know that it has imbued into it cat fur. Okay, so it's not a cat pelt, but the fur that comes off Tabaxi. It's been collected and woven into this, so it has a very kind of.
It's a rug of a crazy cat lady.
Use that.
And yeah, you've got a 6 foot by 10 foot rug that has a tapestry on it that looks as beautiful and as vibrant as the day it was made.
Glory, can you please have a look at this if it's magical?
Sure.
Oh yeah, and I also found this, and I hand her the scroll. I can't.
Now that is interesting.
I can't read it.
Give me a moment. I can.
Right. So, Glory, what are you doing? Which one are you looking at first?
First, I will take a look at the rug, while I grab the scroll from him, give me that.
Okay. Let me just check the School of Magic. Yeah, transmutation. There's a heavy aura of transmutation on this very, very large carpet.
Transmutation.
Yep.
Now to this. Now this I like. Scroll.
Can we?
Read.
Does she know what a flying carpet normally is for?
They all look different. So
No, but for magic, what type of magic do they normally have in them?
I'm not even going to go to roll Arcana. They have transmutation magic. I'm not going to pull
Might
this
be
out.
a flying carpet.
You have a flying carpet.
Yes. Might be a flying carpet. Now I want to read this.
Okay.
We'll try it out when we get back to the surface. For now, I'm just gonna roll it up and stuff it in my bag.
Yeah.
You try to roll it up. It's 6 foot when you roll it up.
By 10 foot.
It's
I
like
offer
taking the
Eclipse
carpet in
some-
our room and in our living room and rolling it up. It's
It's
I
gonna be
offer
like-
Eclipse some rope. I'll be like, maybe this is a better choice than trying to shove it in
it's
your
going to
bag.
take two of you to carry this thing.
It's gonna be like, slapstick comedy ladder style stuff of like sort of trudging along with this freaking rug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I actually arrange it so that she's kind of holding it like it's a great sword on her back and
Yeah.
tie it
Yeah.
onto her back?
Yeah. And Corinne, this thing is easily about 2.5 inches thick. It's like this heavy Hessian back on it. It's woven Hessian back on it, and then this
Maybe
thick
you could
shag
carry it,
carpet. When you roll it up, you realise that there's no way of rolling this up or folding this up that will get it in your bag of holding. This thing has to be carried.
Yeah. Maybe you could carry it, Farwell. I don't think I would have the strength to carry it. I'm really sorry.
Sure, if you want me to.
We got a flying carpet if we
Maybe.
get it.
Yeah,
Possibly.
Yeah.
I will also give every single person 2 gold.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, Glory, do you speak Infernal?
Yeah.
Okay. You take a look at the scroll, and I would like you to do a charisma saving throw.
I was about to say.
And it's not the first time I've gotten that while reading a scroll, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The last time it was the book, and it changed my alignment.
But the good thing is she's good at charisma saving throws, so.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a 21.
Okay, at a 21, you resist the urge to make a happy whooping noise because this is a scroll of Summon Lesser Demon.
Farewell, I will take care of this. And I will put it back.
Hold on. Hold on. I have a passive insight of 21. Do I detect any joy in her reaction? This is only purely to gauge his own level of internal guilt.
Yeah, sure. I was about to get Felicia to roll deception, but I don't think there's any deception. She's just like, no, this is mine.
Mine.
So
Mine.
yeah, I guess you know Glory well enough that if she's just gone, this is mine, it probably does something really bad.
That was unwise.
It's nothing too bad, Farewell. Trust me. It's
Just-
better I have it.
Just don't let Aiden see you using it, please.
Oh no. No problem.
Thank you. I imagine throughout all of this, Aiden's actually has been brooding in the corridor. Like, he's refused to come in, things like that. He's just stood inside against
Seeing
the
if
wall.
there's any drink left, you know. It's like, contemplating why he came back
Demon.
and didn't
Yeah.
just leave.
And he's just leaning against the wall, arms closed, arms crossed. He's just not happy. He really doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
For your reference, Felicia, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, page 167.
I don't... Do I have 7 letters? I think. Wait. I
I
wanna...
don't think I've got that one either.
I can send you the...
I have it.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
167. 160.
Because I know you were looking it up. So, yeah, you've got a carpet and a decorative jar with some dried organs in it, a wand, a scroll that I shouldn't have given you.
Oh, yeah,
and,
shit, the wand.
and a vial of brown liquid.
I show everybody the wand, and I go, sorry, I've also got this, and I've also got a flask of muddy brown
Can
water.
I use Arcana to try and figure out what the wand actually does? What
Well, I
Yeah,
know
you
it's
don't
a
even need to.
cantrip, but-
You don't even know to. You don't even have to do anything major to it. You take one look at it and you go, "Yeah, it's a wand of chill touch. Anybody capable of casting spells can wield this. So anybody who can use an arcane
Chill
focus
touch.
or
And
a
then,
holy symbol."
I give it to Cora then. I'll go. There you go.
Sure.
So you've got a.
Have you been searching dead people for their belongings that you should leave well alone? There, Farewell?
Kate's been
First of
waiting
all-
for this.
First of all, that was a necromancer, and I was looking for his black trick,
Oh.
and it's shut up. And just take
I
your
love how
wand.
the explanation just descends into "you shut up."
And then I have a flask of muddy brown water. So I sort of sniff it and don't
It
really want to
smells
drink it.
rank. It smells absolutely rank.
Can we roll anything to figure that one out?
I was about to say, can I take a
Medicine,
guess?
I guess, for
Simon,
Farewell.
can't you have a drop to figure out the properties of a potion without having to drink it? So you just figure out the properties, but you don't get any of the effects by just having a.
Yes, you can do the whole kind of dip test where you dip your finger in and just kind of lick it and go, okay, this tastes of.
Oh, that's definitely poison.
I ran over and shot you again.
What I would like to do, Simon, is I would just like to do some investigation around the room and see if I find anything else to loot.
Yeah,
sure. Do me anybody who would like to do a investigation check.
Sorry, so what would you like me to roll to identify the flask?
Investigation.
Yeah, what are you doing with it, Farewell? Are you just sniffing it and looking at it?
I'm going to do the full good old-fashioned chemistry check, give it a bit of sniff, not gone blind, finger in, lick it, not drop dead, all gone blind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, first of all, do a Constitution saving throw.
Because this went so well the last 2 times I did this. 11.
Okay, so whilst you guys are looking around the room, Farewell suddenly just chunders all over the floor. I mean, he is heartily sick. It smelt rank, it tasted worse, and immediately you just dry retched and then just vomited heartily all over the place. Go on, do a medicine check.
Oh, good.
Temptation may be away with the sick. Glory.
17.
17, yeah. You identify it as a jar of old dried blood, pus, and other bodily fluids. Probably aged. It's vintage, I would say. Its vintage is probably about a decade plus, based on the.
Oh my god, we're all gonna throw up now.
The extensive decomposition.
You know he did that as punishment.
Can I use prestidigitation to just clean up whatever Farewell just did?
Yeah, you clean up the sink.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you do that, I will. It's this guy's tomb, right? Should we clean up this spell circle and things and make it a little nicer?
It's almost gone anyways. Besides, the floor look almost new with the after the first layer of grime has been washed off.
Yeah, the acid has done a remarkable job of cleaning the stonework.
It's like bleach. It's like
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's like those power wash videos.
Yeah.
You know, like really like satisfying as they go down line by line.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that flask on the floor, and I'm just going to leave it there. That was a deeply unpleasant experience.
And I will go exploring because there was another door we didn't go through.
I rolled a 21 on our investigation.
Sure.
Yeah, you got a lot more than me. I got a 12.
Okay. Well, during your investigation, Cora, you do spot an extra room that you didn't spot before, and it's actually coming off this chamber. I'll reveal it to you. When you walk in, when you look at the door just looks like a bunch of bricks. And then you find this tiny little kind of catch. You put your finger in, pull the catch towards you, and the bricks perfectly, as though it's been oiled for years, just hinge out, and there's this room. Inside the room are 6 smaller sarcophagi, and written in Dwarvish, and in Elvish, and in Common, up on the wall, it says, "Here lie the bearers. Here lie the guardians. Give them honour, give them their due. Remember them." On the top of each of the sarcophagi are ornamental weapons. You spot 2 warhammers, 1 double-handed axe, 1 rapier, 1 whip, and 1 staff.
Glory!
Guys, look. There's a whole other room here.
Okay, I'm coming. What? Where? What do you want?
Could you please have a look and see if any of these weapons spare any magic?
Yeah, sure. Do I need to read the text too?
No, we can read it.
It was
Okay,
in common as well. Oh,
Ah,
I can't
okay.
remember it.
Yeah, the second you walk in, it's just this big proclamation on the wall.
What can you say it again? Here lie the bearers.
here lie the bearers. Here lie the guardians. Those who've gone before, respect them. Effectively.
Okie dokie. I do a magic sweep of the room.
Sure. You place your opal over your eye and start to look around. As you do so, you notice that all of the weapons glow. You spot a familiar glow on all the weapons except for the quarterstaff. So all the weapons are +1 weapons. So as I say, 2 warhammers, 1 double-handed axe, 1 rapier, 1 whip. They're all
These
+1
will
magical
be
weapons.
worth some money because they have magic. They're good weapons, like the ones we use, you know?
Much as I am all for taking things from dead people,
You see Cora from the other room go, "Don't desecrate a tomb!"
yeah, I'm kind of a
Yeah.
feral on this one. Look, read what it says. Like, we've just done a good thing. If we
I
then take
suppose.
these, we are not showing respect.
That's fair. What was the last one that they didn't show?
Yeah,
What's
so
that thing?
there's a slightly different magical signature on the staff. It's not a +1 staff. It does something different. And so you are...
That one does something different.
Yeah, but
I'm
I'm
curious.
But I don't think anyone of us use a quarterstaff really, so we can just leave it if you don't. Why you guys don't want to sell it?
I
there
don't
was
think we
another
should
room
sell
too.
it. I think
Yeah,
if they were going to be of use to us in our quest, that's different. If we're just taking it to sell it, that's...
Yeah,
Yes, right.
yeah.
I was gonna
That's
say,
fair.
I'm with Cora and Farwell on this one. I'm all for going and finding the keys to the actual tomb, but these things we don't really have any use for, and they have asked us very politely here to leave them alone, and we were given a gift anyway from dear Pride.
Yeah, that's what you came for, right? So...
Yeah. Yes. So I've got the thing I was here for. Anything we find kind of stowed away and are not directly connected to people like this, I'm all for take us whatever you want, but things that are connected clearly to buried people, maybe not take it.
Yeah. But
I'm
there's plenty
gonna
of boxes and barrels to look through.
I would like Simon, whilst they're doing all of this and they're adventuring around and looking stuff, is to basically spend as much time as I need to ritually cast ceremony and use the funeral rite passage to basically just reconsecrate all the graves, considering what they were doing in here. And
Yeah.
just I'm pretty sure that they've moved on, but just at least for the next week, it would be nice to have a little bit of comfort that they're not going to bring these things back to life as undead.
Sure. Okay.
Laura's gonna kick up the other door.
Sure. So you, whilst the ceremony is going on, you, Glory, go and, as you say, you kick open the other door, and this has a certain amount of it freaks you out a bit.
Okay.
When you walk in here, it has prison cells, it has a torturer's rack, it has in the far corner, a raised bedroom. So there's like a kind of a few steps that goes into what seems to be a large bedroom. So where all the others were, they were kind of where you think monks maybe would have been.
Okay.
This was like kind of the keeper, the guardian. And there's a stock. If I just click that and then ping it for you. So here, there's a pair of stocks where somebody would be put in and shackled by wrist and by neck. This doesn't. This seems to be some sort of punishment room, and Yeah. The blood stains, which are now dark brown, long since dried, long since decayed, suggest that it was in frequent use.
I am
Well, I
so
haven't
confused
seen a-
about this place.
I haven't seen a room like this since me and Hope snuck into Uncle Revenant's rooms. Oh well.
Your uncle has a room like this? You have
I've
a
just
very
remembered
good
Uncle
job.
Revenant. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose he said they were arrogant. That was the point, wasn't it? But, geez, what the hell are
Yeah.
they doing?
Does anybody speak what would it be? Primordial.
Nick
Farewell
does.
does.
But if it's a written thing, I would probably try to read it using a thingy I have. Let's see here. Does it work when reading, or is it only spoken? Ooh.
You can just call
under-
him. I mean, he'll come and read it.
And any spoken language. Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, then no.
There's a one word, a single word in a very strange, almost bestial font that's scored on the wall so that you can see it both from the rack and from the stocks.
None of us know what this is.
I'd say ask Farewell Raiden. They know some languages too. Because I can't read that one.
Yeah.
I want to be able to read that one.
If no one knows it, Cora's gonna maybe encourage Farewell, because she probably doesn't have paper herself, but she'd be like, maybe write it down, let's find out what this is.
Yeah, sure. Farewell, whilst you're doing this, by the way, Farewell is doing his ceremony that he said he was doing.
Yeah.
So
Once he's finished, before we leave, be like, let's write that word down, find out what that actually...
So there are various
Same.
forms of pliers here. There's a hammer. There's a selection of knives. They're kind of rusted, but you have a feeling they could be sorted out. There's some manacles, if you're so inclined. And then there's the bedroom, which I see Glory's already got into the bedroom. So let me just move that along so everybody else can see it.
Yeah, I am searching around, just seeing what the hell is
Yeah.
in this room.
Sure. So in the bedroom on the side, actually, let me just fiddle about with some stuff a sec so that yep, there we go, so the stream can see it. This is quite clearly the room of the head of the order. There is a locked chest next to the bed, which has a strange look to it. You have a feeling it might be enchanted, Glory. And there's a fireplace which is long since burned out, and there's a desk with a book on it. Seems to be some sort
I
of
want to
ledger.
take a look at the book.
Okay, the book is in a language that you don't understand, and
Annoying.
it has a load of numbers. It has what seems to be some names in it, and yeah.
Can I have a look at the book? Or
Yeah,
can
you
I
have a look at the
understand
book, and you don't recognise it either.
it? Okay.
You don't recognise the language. Oh, actually, you may recognise the language. You just can't read it.
Okay.
Give me a history check.
It's a step forward. It's a step forward. This is all we need.
Yeah.
14?
No, yeah, I mean it's in old. It's written in old.
Oh.
It's
Well.
old.
Maybe that historian guy would like to look.
Oh yes, I'll take it to him. In bag of holding.
Okay.
You just let me know when I'm all done and I can read that thing for them.
Sure. Just checking something quickly, and yep. Okay. Cool. That's fine. So yeah, you finish your ritual, Farewell, and as you do so, and I think everyone here now, and I'm going to say Aiden has as well. Everyone has vowed to leave the weapons alone. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
when farewell.
I was probably going to reassess that after seeing this room. Cora was probably going to have that discussion, like going, did they do this? Because who's the good guys?
I
Okay.
don't think it matters.
Thank you for your honesty.
All is fair in love and war.
Cora is looking in the cells. Are there any bodies of anyone still left?
No, the
Skeletons?
cells. Give me an insight check.
Ooh.
Oh, what check? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Insight.
Cut. That's not amazing. Where is insight? It's a 14.
Okay. Yeah, go on. I'll give it to you. You were one off, so I'm going to give it to you. The cells don't seem to be for keeping people for. How do I put this?
They're not for murder time. They're for punishment time.
They appear to be set out with the same setup as the pallets that you saw in the previous room, and you kind of take a look a little closer, and sure enough, there's a little figurine of a child holding a son in one of the cells.
What pallets in what other room?
That we were in
right.
before, the one where all the hay was. That when we first went in there, where I'm thinking now.
Yeah.
When you went in, you saw a little drawing, or was it a doll?
Oh, when we fought that guy.
Green, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can center you on it. There we go. That one there.
Yeah. There was a similar drawing of a little girl holding a son in there.
I want to go and
You
have a
can't
look
tell
at.
the gender of the child. It's
It's a child.
Can I
It-
get
it's a child,
into the cell and
Yeah, the
Religion
investigate
or
this?
history to see if we recognize the symbol.
I think we don't need to roll because I think that's because I know out of character what it is, and
I think they're
wouldn't
still
know.
they're still good for that. So to answer Kate, yes, you can get into the cell. To answer
Okay, so it's unlocked.
Felicia, yes, you can make a religion check.
Anyone or just Glory?
I would say anybody who's seen the symbols, really, which is currently the three girls.
5.
Cool.
I have no clue.
No.
17.
It doesn't have to do with Skullra. I'm not concerned.
Yeah, so there's a reason why Glory has not seen this symbol very much. This is one of the double aspects of Pelor.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Pelor has...
Definitely not.
Yeah. That's why it was oddly fitting, yeah. Pelor has a double aspect. The first is of a full-grown figure. Can be male, female, can be any race. Usually standing up, and it is a vision of the Shining One, the one who brings hope. Yeah. And then the second aspect is the Child of Awe, the Child of Innocence. There's lots of different names for the second aspect of Pelor, and it's the image. That's why I say it, not naming the Pelor as it. The image is of a genderless child, normally looking into the sky with awe, sometimes wielding an item, which is usually something bright. Sometimes it's a flame, and in this case, it's a sun.
Right.
And there's a look of absolute joy on the child's face.
Out of character, I'd just like to remind everyone of that time a paladin almost attacked us because he saw me.
We haven't forgotten. It remains a deeply stressful moment every time we're out about in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think we're probably going to wrap up there.
Yep,
then, so-
I'm wrapping up with a very quick description. I'll let you guys do your checks quickly. And so I wrap up with this. Farewell finishes the ceremony. And as he does so, he gets that usual sensation of absolute calm. You all feel this soporific effect flow over you as you suddenly connect very slightly with the ethereal realm. The room just bursts into life. Suddenly the floors are clean, the walls are clean, there's torches burning in the sconces. There seem to be small creature comforts like rugs and things on the floor. And you can see a bunch of monks. Some of them are fighting attackers. Some of them are sparring, and you realise that you're seeing these figures fighting at different points in history. Two of them are dwarves with ancestral warhammers smacking into goblins that have dared to come down into this, the resting place of their patron. One of them is a Goliath with a giant two-handed axe, and he's currently hewing his way into a featureless figure that is holding up what seems to be some sort of thick practice shield. I have a feeling that they're sparring. The whip is wielded by quite clearly a monk, and they're wrapping it around their body before letting it loose, tripping people with it, and with quite a look of joy on their face. You can tell that this is some sort of sparring thing, and they're using the whip to pull weapons out of people's hands and so on. The rapier. The rapier is actually fighting down a cambion, a winged demon that seems to have come down here looking for whatever they're looking for. And the bearer of the rapier is lashing at the cambion, and the cambion actually looks afraid. There is something in common with all of these figures, and that is that they're all wearing what seem to be the same medical dressings on the same parts of their body. There seems to be signs of ritual scarring on their body as well, on their face, on their hands. Because these guys aren't really wearing that much, you can also see on their legs and on their midriffs as well. There are signs of broken bones that have been repaired. There are signs of great hardship. These are bodies that have been worn almost to the point of their own destruction. There's also a sudden flit across the ceiling as you watch the bearer of the quarterstaff, again a monk, running along the ceiling with their staff of spider climbing. They stop in the middle of what they're doing and stare at the nearest party member. They give a little nod, and then they evaporate into nothingness, and you're back in the grime-covered structure. Farewell.
Right.
You're close enough to be able to see from here. All the weapons from the top of the sarcophagi are gone.
Rest well. Duty's done. And I leave and I go join the others.
Sure.
And I bring
Read the word on the
Iden
wall.
with me.
Yeah, you walk into a room.
And I go and read the rune of the wall, which I imagine as soon as I get in the room, Glory's going, wall. What's
Yeah.
on the
I
wall?
can't read it.
You look over your shoulder, Farewell, and you're not at all surprised to see the word penance in primordial.
It says penance.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. This
Find
is
out
not
next
what I
time.
expected. Yeah.
Yeah. Find out more next time on The Benefactor.
You sure we couldn't just go for another 2 hours? I just feel like we're getting to a really good bit. I could do another 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with
I
two
have
reminders.
sports day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
I'll leave you with two reminders. You have a book in a strange language, and you have
Yep.
a chest that Glory suspects is enchanted. We'll
Yep.
leave that now there. Thank you,
Yep.
everybody who's watching. Thank you for being with us today. And we will see you next Friday at 8 p.m. UTC. That's UK time. To continue this story now that these guys with great skill have managed to take one step on the way to unraveling the mysteries and the fate that beheld Jorodan the Great. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night-night.
Good night.